TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israeli Defense Minister Naftali Bennett reveals that up to 70% of the Israeli public is expected to inevitably contract the corona contagion. The Israeli Air Force and U.S. military launch a joint aerial exercise to improve force capabilities and readiness. The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan is making every effort to battle the uncontrollable spread of the coronavirus as King Abdullah II grants his government sweeping powers to enforce an army-imposed curfew and other strict measures. The battle against the spread of the coronavirus continues to challenge the state of Israel as the number of confirmed cases has leaped to over 1,650 as of this morning, including 47 classified as moderately ill and another 31 in critical condition. It is important to highlight, however, that 652 of those confirmed cases are displaying only mild or even no symptoms at all, and are currently home quarantined or in state-funded hotels under close medical inspection. Thus far, out of those that contracted the coronavirus, the mortality rate in Israel is exceptionally low at under 0.1%, in contrast to other countries that are plagued by the disease, including Italy at 9.5%, Spain at 6.6%, the United States at 1.3%, and Germany at 0.4%, according to the latest public data. Meanwhile, Jerusalem announced a number of new measures in efforts to limit the spread of the contagion so as to avoid a situation in which the Israeli health system will have to deal with overwhelming numbers of infected patients, as is the case in Italy, where hospitals are reluctantly forced to be selective about granting treatment to new patients based on their probable chances of survival. The measures enacted by the interim Israeli government under the guidance of incumbent Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu include the reduction and restriction of activities in the public sphere. It is important to know that while Israelis are still permitted to leave their homes for the purpose of purchasing essential goods at pharmacies and supermarkets, all non-essential, including computer and fashion stores, will be closed, and any individual caught wandering the streets will be subject to financial fines or even possible incarceration. Furthermore, all Israeli citizens above the age of 65 are to enter self-quarantine effective immediately. According to Israeli Defense Minister Naftali Bennett, the isolation of elderly citizens is vital in defeating the contagion, which inevitably will ultimately infect up to 70% of the Israeli public. Nevertheless, Jerusalem's top defense officials sought to alleviate public concerns over the disease by shedding light on the government's projected scenario and objectives.
ברגע שאתה נדבק ועובר את השלושה, ארבעה, חמישה שבועות עם קורונה, בסוף הדרך אתה כבר מחוסן. הרוב המוחץ של אזרחי ישראל שידבקו בקורונה לא ידעו שהם נדבקו בקורונה, והתקופה תעבור בלי שהם ידעו, והם יהיו מחוסנים. עכשיו, בהתחלה 10% מהציבור, אחר כך 1% מהציבור ידבק, אחר כך 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%, עד שנגיע בערך ל-50, 60, 70% מהציבור. ואז יהיו כל כך הרבה אנשים שהם כבר חסינים מהידבקות, שאותם אנשים שנשארו עם הקורונה, לא יהיה להם הרבה את מי להדביק, ולאט לאט מקדם ההידבקות, ההדבקה של הנגיף ירד והמגפה תדעך. ואז נוכל, מה שנקרא, לשחרר את הזקנים, את סבא וסבתא מהבידוד. עד אז אנחנו צריכים לשמור אותם ולשמור את כל הוראות משרד הבריאות עד אז.
Minister Bennett further underscored the vital need not to overwhelm the country's already strained health system by making every effort to limit the contagion spread from getting out of control.
אנחנו לא רוצים לנצח להיות בסגר. אנחנו ננסה לאזן. מצד אחד, וזה הדבר החשוב, אנחנו רוצים למתן את הגרף. אנחנו לא רוצים שמהר המון ידבקו, ואז בתי החולים יועמסו על ידי אותם חלק מהם שהם חולים קשה וזקוקים למענה רפואי. בסופו של דבר, אחרי שנגיע למספיק הדבקה בקצב שמשרד הבריאות יקבע, אנחנו נוכל לצאת מהאירוע הזה.
In light of this assessment and following a lengthy ongoing discussion by the Coronavirus Task Force, the Israeli military, under the guidance of the Defense Ministry, was granted the authority yesterday of protecting the elder population of the Jewish state. A special unit dubbed the Golden Guardians is currently being mobilized in order to provide Israel's elderly with vital logistical assistance to assure that they do not lack any essential commodities and services during the unspecified duration of their self-quarantine. In related news, it has been revealed that the largest number of Israeli individuals that were infected by the coronavirus are from the ultra-Orthodox community. According to data published by the Center for Information and National Campaign Against the Coronavirus, which operates at the behest of the Israeli Health Ministry, 29% of the confirmed cases are individuals that contracted the disease at synagogues and ultra-Orthodox seminaries. The Information Center further revealed that 26% of confirmed cases were infected at commercial centers and restaurants, and some 15% at hotels. The Information Center explained that identifying the locations from where the public gets infected is vital in order to combat the spread of the contagion. And while limiting the spread of the coronavirus and its implications to Israel remain the top priority of the leadership in Jerusalem, the IDF spokesperson's unit announced the start of an international military exercise which includes the Israeli Air Force and U.S. military. According to its statement, both militaries started the joint exercise during the afternoon hours of today, during which an increased level of F-35 fighter jet traffic will be felt. The Israeli military highlighted, in light of concerns over the persistently spreading coronavirus, the exercise will be conducted only in the air and no meetings will be held on the ground. It further emphasized that the exercise was planned in advance as part of the IDF's scheduled exercises in 2020 with the aim of improving force capabilities and readiness. The exercise is expected to end on Thursday afternoon. Turning now to Israel's eastern neighbor, where the Hashemite Kingdom is making every effort to battle the uncontrollable spread of the coronavirus. Jordanian authorities announced a series of radical measures in light of a growing number of newly confirmed cases throughout Jordan, immediately suspending all incoming and outgoing flights since last week on Tuesday. These measures, however, were deemed insufficient by health authorities who urged King Abdullah II to enact tougher precautionary actions. In response, King Abdullah enacted an emergency decree giving the government sweeping powers to enforce an army-imposed curfew and other measures that restrict civil and political liberties.
أقرر إصدار أمر الدفاع التالي. أولاً، يحظر تنقل الأشخاص وتجوالهم في جميع مناطق المملكة، وذلك ابتداءً من الساعة 7 صباحاً من يوم السبت الموافق 21/3/2020 وحتى إشعار آخر. ثانياً، تغلق جميع المحلات في مناطق المملكة كافة.
With strict enforcement of the decree, the king's government is providing its citizens with essential commodities daily.
بلشنا خبز صباح هذا اليوم ما يقارب الساعة 4 فجرا لغاية الآن يعني حوالي 4 طن طلعنا. حضروا عندنا جماعة أمانة عمان باصاتهم، برافقوهم جماعة الأمن العام، رافقوهم موظفين من عندنا على منطقة الاختصاص من أجل توزيع مادة الخبز.
And while the citizens welcomed their government's care, some of them did not shy away from voicing concern over the lack of protective masks for the citizens of the country.
والله هي شوف يعني كتصرف زي هيك ممتاز، كويس انه اقل ما فيها، بس نفس النتيجه رجعنا هي العالم كلها بالشارع وما في واحد متقيد بالتعليمات. يعني انت عم تحكي معي والمفروض انه اكون انا لابس كمامه او المفروض انه يكون في عندي انا كمامات.
Meanwhile, an Israeli official told TV7 that Jerusalem and Amman are holding close consultations on the situation as the Jewish state regards its neighbor Jordan vital to the security and stability of Israel's eastern border. Thank you for watching us. I encourage you to continue to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, the peace and salvation of Israel, as well as for all those who are impacted by this coronavirus. I'm Jonathan Hassan. Have an Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.